Welcome back, got another video for you. This one's going to focus on more sketchy things I've been hearing here and there, and is a bit of a follow-up on the leak list I just reported on. So be sure to hit that subscribe button because we're going on a journey. So starting off with the more likely source, straight from the VK blog that I just got that last leak list on, which was actually hitting quite a few points. But if you remember, there was one line that was poorly translated by Google that said, important preliminary techniques, which I didn't understand. I thought it meant to the map filter function. However, a native Russian speaker by the name of Yubaka saying that it means that vehicles stated here are not all the vehicles that are coming. Now that could imply two things. Either some of the vehicles that it missed, like the M48, A2C, Oswin 2, so on and so forth, this is what it's replying to. Didn't bother to check those because those were already well known. Or that it means that there's more vehicles to add to this list. And bam, wouldn't you know it, right there on the VK blogs, as I was making the last video, another leak list popped up. So let's go through this one to see what they're implying. It's also quite vague like the last one, only saying vehicle types, but it gets pretty interesting. First off, right off the top, a new nation that includes two types of equipment, which I'm assuming means it's going to get both an airplane and a tank tree. I wonder what that new nation is going to be. Oh, don't worry, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I got some other crazy stuff here. Then it says new functionality, which maybe there's like another game function coming. I don't know, Google gets pretty vague. Like for here it says new techniques, and that's obviously just mean new vehicles. But it says for the US, jet fighter, hunter. Hunter, I'm thinking either means attacker or bomber. I'm gonna go with attacker. I really hope that means A10. And why I think it refers to A10, oh, I'll get to that as well. This is a big old beautiful flower of intersecting information I've gotten from separate sources. It says for USSR, jet fighter boat. Alright. For Germany it says jet fighter destroyer. For Britain it says boat. And for Japan it says patrol ship. And it says in general about 60 plus units of new equipment are planned, which means it's a pretty big patch. At the bottom it states, as for new nation, it is entirely possible in two forms. That is, first the batch equipment either all at once or postponed for later. Good job there, Google Translate. Quality work as usual. So I think this is assuming is it's not guaranteed we'll both get for the new nation both tanks and planes at the same time. So that's the end of the leak list. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, it's pretty vague. Kind of cool new nation. I wonder if that's gonna be maybe Sweden. Well, I'm telling you, this isn't the end of this video. A fellow on Discord stopped by who has given me information in the past that happened to be true. So he definitely has some links into Gaiden's network. Give me some really preposterous stuff. And at first I was like, it's probably fake. You probably got tricked, mate. Maybe I'll report on it anyways because I got some silly stuff in mind. But it keeps looping around. I'll get into the information. What it apparently is a leaked script for a 1.91 shooting range video. Now this is going to reveal the whole deck of cards that I got planned right here and there. So be ready to have your pants blown off. The first things I have are paragraphs, images of paragraphs. And I'll just read these to you. F-4C. The MiG's newfound superiority will be contested by the American Phantom II. The McDonnell Douglas F-4C. It's a supersonic multi-purpose fighter jet that saw its fair share of combat, having been used in many conflicts in the last century, including Vietnam War. Being a true multi-purpose aircraft, it doesn't kid around. With its huge arsenal of different payload options, it is a serious threat to both air and ground targets. Seriously, it has enough payload options to put a strike aircraft to shame. I know, that's a lot to take in out of there. I'll let you have a second to process all that information. Psych! Next paragraph. MiG-21. Say hi to the legendary Soviet supersonic jet fighter, which is the most widely produced aircraft of this type in the world. Whenever anyone says MiG, just MiG, without any number, that's exactly the aircraft you think about, the MiG-21. With its distinctive delta wing and elliptical profile of the fuselage and the tricycle type undercarriage. Its afterburning turbojet engine allows it to reach speeds of more than 1,300 kilometers per hour at sea level. The aircraft is armed with a 30mm cannon and a wide variety of missiles. That's right, MiG-21. Apparently we're getting it if this stuff turns out to be true. But hold on, strap your seatbelts tight. We're going right back in. This is another tidal wave. This is a kind of weird one because it's just like a segment. Like it starts off with modifications, period. On the very top, there is a 50-ton MBT. The CM-11 Brave Tiger hybrid tank that comes with the 105mm cannon, an M60A3 tank hull, and a modern fire control system and ERA. Now, if you don't know, the Brave Tiger is a Taiwanese modern battle tank. Well, it's a modified M60. I also have some bits that are also supposedly part of this leaked script that were only copy-pasted, not screenshots. So let me read you some of that. Then we'll do some fact checking and see how legit this could or could not be. We also brought rotocopters to rank 7. The Tiger copter made as part as the Eurocopter French-German joint venture that we already mentioned earlier. Now it sits top of both German and French helicopter trees. Heavy cruisers entered the new era as well. You get 3 new ones at the same time. The Japanese Mogami, the German Admiral Hepper, and the Soviet Chupaev class cruiser. Behemoths that are hundreds of meters long and are now casting their shadow over the Furutaka cruiser. They are bigger, they displace way more tonnage, and have much more firepower. Get ready for naval battles on a bigger scale. While it's great to hear the cruiser names, it doesn't necessarily prove the fact that they named them, because this was linked to me much later than the first leak list was put up on VK blogs. The next part is, you've been trying to find out what next nation's coming to War Thunder is for many months. No guessing needed anymore. Here they come, the first Chinese vehicles in War Thunder. Starting with update 1.91 is a Chinese tech tree for both aircraft and ground vehicles. China coming to the game kind of follows a lot with some of the things I was reporting on the week prior to this one. My concern is if this is true, Gaijin is actually going for a Chinese tree. I really hope they don't follow with what the Chinese server Chinese tree is, which was entirely copy-paste. You could make an actual Chinese tree that is much more unique than the easy way. However, this next paragraph does not instill a whole lot of hope in me. The Chinese ground forces include a lot of tanks that have the word type in their name, like, for instance, the Type 59, a Chinese-produced version of the Soviet T-54A that underwent a lot of modifications. And then following that is the earlier sentence I read about the CM-11 Brave Tiger. Now here's the thing about the Type 59. The stock one, the first one that China made, was a heavily copy of the T-54A, and you would not see much difference between them gameplay-wise. Further variants of the Type 59 did actually strive much different than the Russian counterparts, to the point where you would have alternate gameplay experiences. After that is a sentence in Russian, and I don't speak Russian, and then it says, in the skies you'll see the Chengdu J-7 multi-role turbojet fighter. It's a license-built version of the Soviet MiG-21. You'll instantly recognize its iconic profile and distinctive delta wing design. The Chinese MiG-21s were really just MiG-21s. They did have a variant of them. It was an early design that sucked balls, and they stopped making them that way and made them better. Honestly, I'd really hope that Gaijin would put forward Chinese unique designs opposed to the well-known yet copy-paste ones, to help deflect the so often criticism of it's just a copy-paste tree, which it sometimes is very true, but it also hides the fact that there's a lot of unique Chinese vehicles that would do well in War Thunder. This little segment I got here ends with the basic outros. I'm not going to bother reading it because there's no new information. However, I'll add this. Apparently the name of the patch is going to be something along the lines of The Great Wall. Now, is this true? Well, my gut instincts want to say it sounds too good to be true. A lot of people have been asking for Mach 2 aircraft, and a lot of other people have been asking for a Chinese tech tree. And I personally want a Chinese tech tree. I understand that the necessity to add new nations to the game is far outweighed by fixing issues in the game, but as a novelty, I like the idea of a Chinese tech tree. China is not very explored much when talked about the Second World War, even though they had a huge part in it. Same with the Korean War and many other parts of the Cold War, and in modern times have plenty of vehicles that could be added as well. Now, the things that would lead me to believe this is true is, right when I uploaded my last video, I got some messages. One of them was a guy who I've never talked to before, stating that he happened to have the information that I just set up. And as far as I know, he has no relation to the person who originally gave it to me, although he did say where it originally came from, and that matches with where the other guy said it originally came from. Upon that, it fits with the leak list I talked about prior in this video, saying a new nation that has both aircraft and tanks. But on top of both of that, back on Thursday, late at night, a guy came to me saying that Gaijin was working on an F4 Phantom II, a F-105, and the MiG-21. In fact, gave me a little list of what we could expect, starting with the F-104G was finished, F-104C, MiG-21, F-13, F-4E, F-4G, and the F-4J was just being polished. He stated a bunch of other random facts that I don't exactly want to reread, but I'll put them on the screen. Last fact that is getting me thinking is, on my last video, a dude commented that, as the leak list states, Italy is supposed to get 2 more interceptors, but they don't really have any other interceptors besides the F-104S and F-104G. So you can see there's a lot of arrows pointing in the same direction. However, I'm still quite nervous to say yes for certain, and I think for obvious reasons. A big claim requires big evidence. As I did with the last leak list, I'll leave this up to you on whether it's true or not. Maybe this is all just an elaborate ruse to make me make a dumb video. Regardless, I'd love to hear what you say, so be sure to comment down below or on my Discord. If you've liked this video, hit the like button. If you don't like the video, don't hit the like button. I make weekly War Thunder videos every Sunday. I like to stream on Saturdays, and I've been trying to stream on Twitch more often on Fridays. Currently, I'm planning to restart the XCOM campaign, as that went as disastrous last time, so be sure to follow me there. And if you want to support my channel, you can do so by hitting the join button down below, or just sharing the video around. I think that's all I need to say this video. There might have been some more things that I wanted to connect. However, it's currently, once again, 4 in the morning. It's like a curse, and I'm going to bed. But just because it's 4 in the morning doesn't mean I'm gonna forget bonus news! This video's been a bit strange. But remember that Chinese data miner that I talked to, and he didn't want to share any information that he apparently knew? Well, he did share one thing, and it was a data mine he did about 3 months ago. And it was, well, something he commonly does, digs up files that relate to various ships. This time he got some gun files, and he said what ship they're most likely to come on. There were some 127s for a U.S. battleship and for a U.S. cruiser. There was a 283mm gun for a German Scharnhorst battleship, but there was also this 100mm gun for the Soviet Chapayev class heavy cruiser. In fact, isn't that the one that was in the leaked shooting range script? So Noda Kotori, you do amazing work.